Tonight, a high-profile corruption scandal hit the National Food and Buffer Stock Company with former CEO Hanan Abdul-Wahab and his wife Faiza Said Wuni facing charges over the theft of 78 million Ghana cedis from operating a sophisticated criminal enterprise.
They ran this criminal enterprise under the pretext of supplying food items to schools under the school feeding program. 7 entities linked to Abdul-Wahab and his wife were used as vehicles to receive and to launder the proceeds of crime from Buffer Stock Company. He exited Buffer Stock in December 2024 with a salary of 28,000 per month. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do your mathematics.
Meanwhile, the former Buffer Stock CEO, we bring you details of that, of how Hanan Abdul-Wahab allegedly orchestrated the theft and the nature of the transactions involved, as the Attorney General Dominic Ayine vows to confiscate all assets acquired with stolen money.
The couple purchased a 3-bedroom house at Cantonments, a 17-bedroom boutique hotel at Gumani. There is a 4-bedroom bungalow situated at Jolo. The wife has over 61 luxury bags. He himself was buying watches, some costing as much as 1.5 million.
Meanwhile, the former Buffer Stock CEO has denied the AG's corruption allegations in a strongly worded statement, describing the claims as, quote, untrue, deeply unfortunate. We have details coming up next year on Top Story, brought to you always by Telecel. Connecting Energies Holy Insecticide Spray and Coil. Enjoy a holy sleep, and also by Shield Pension Trust. Into the future with you. Well, in a stunning revelation, the Attorney General Dominic Ayine has revealed that the former CEO of the National Buffer Stock Company, Hanan Abdul-Wahab, and his wife, Faiza Said Wuni, will face charges over the theft of a staggering 78 million Ghana cedis from the company. The AG's office alleges that Abdul-Wahab operated a sophisticated criminal enterprise using his position to orchestrate the transfer of funds to a private company linked to him and his wife. Speaking at the government's accountability series at the Jubilee House, the AG says its investigations revealed a trail of luxury properties and assets acquired with the stolen funds, including high-end real estate and a 17-bedroom boutique hotel. The AG has vowed to confiscate all assets acquired with the ill-gotten wealth. My colleague Papa Niashale joins me in studio with more details as presented by the AG. Papa, now, first of all, what are the charges against Hanan Abdul-Wahab and his wife Faiza Said Wuni?
Well, Brace, the Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayine, who believes that this is a well-layered, orchestrated crime of a sort for which is going to the court very soon to file formal charges, by sort of giving us a hint as to what exactly he'll be charging them with. And he says that, well, Hanan and his wife Faiza Said Wuni will be charged with several offenses, including stealing, conspiracy to steal, willfully causing financial loss to the state, using public office for profit, obtaining public property by false statements, and again, money laundering here. He says that these charges relate to the theft of about 78,269,084 Ghana cedis and some 4 pesos from the National Bank and Buffer Stock, National Food and Buffer Stock Company, Kojo Brace.
How did Hanan Abdul-Wahab allegedly orchestrate that theft, and what was the nature of the transactions involved?
Well, Kojo Brace, again, we know that the Attorney General, who says that the Iyoko was one of the leading groups that was doing some of these investigations, sort of in their investigation saw a well-layered and well-thought-through plan to take money from a state institution, which is the buffer stock company, and also to handing it over through a chain of companies. That all the way will boils down to the final items that some of them use the money to. I'll try to walk you through some of them. But to summarize, well, we know that according to the Attorney General, Hanan Abdul, and while working with others, orchestrated the transfer of about 78 million Ghana cedis from the bank accounts of Buffer Stock Company to a private company linked to him and his wife, known as Sortina Enterprise. The payments were allegedly for food supplies made to schools under the school feeding program. However, the investigations by Yoko revealed that only about 27 million Ghana cedis of the 78 million Ghana cedis payments that were made to Sortina were backed by supplies. Essentially, the Attorney General is telling us that just 27,000 of those supplies allegedly went to the schools or could be verified. We can listen to the Attorney General as he walks us through in details how exactly this scheme was all put together.
Now to the rumble in the jungle. Initial estimates put the amount of money pilfered by Mr. Abdul-Wahab and his collaborators at the time at around 58 million Ghana cedis, far in excess of the 49 million suspected to have been stolen by Mr. Edubohe and his co-accused persons. I call the criminal enterprise operated by Abdul-Wahab and his collaborators at Buffer Stock the rumble in the jungle. Between 2017 and 2024, Mr. Abdul-Wahab colluded with his wife, Faiza Seidu, Richard Sam, head of finance, Bismarck Owusu Boache, finance department, and Emmanuel Atta, corporate affairs manager, and others to create an elaborate criminal enterprise that was used to steal and launder public funds from the Buffer Stock Company. Within the period between 2017 and 2024, Mr. Abdul-Wahab, in concert with Richard Sam Asante and Bismarck Owusu Boache, orchestrated the transfer of 78,269,084 Ghana cedis and 4 pesos from the bank accounts of Buffer Stock Company to a private company linked to Hanan Abdul-Wahab, his wife, and staff of Buffer Stock at Republic Bank and EcoBank. Similarly, evidence shows that between December 2017 and May 2019, Hanan Abdul-Wahab transferred 5,495,780 Ghana cedis and 36 pesos from Buffer Stock Company accounts to 2 bank accounts belonging to Aludiba Enterprise. Aludiba Enterprise is not a registered supplier of Buffer Stock Company. The evidence gathered so far shows that they ran this criminal enterprise under the pretext of supplying food items to schools under the school feeding program. Ladies and gentlemen, 7 entities linked to Abdul-Wahab and his wife were used as vehicles to receive and to launder the proceeds of crime from Buffer Stock Company. Bank documents obtained by EOCO revealed that within the period that the suspects operated this criminal enterprise, Mr. Abdul-Wahab and his wife and their entities became the largest depositors at Republic Bank, and the branch was at Labone branch. Investigations established that in 2018, Sortina Enterprise, an entity owned by James Atieko Apau, applied to become a licensed supplier to the Buffer Stock Company. This application was approved by his boss, Hanan Abdul-Wahab, knowing very well that the approval placed James Atieko Apau in a conflict of interest situation. Documentary evidence from bank accounts of Buffer Stock revealed that between 2018 and 2024, Buffer Stock transferred a total of 78,369,082 cedis and 4 pesos to Sortina Enterprises bank account at EcoBank and Republic Bank respectively. The payment were supposedly to pay for food supplies made by Sortina to schools under the school feeding program. Verified records, including way bills and store receipt vouchers from Buffer Stock, however, indicated that only 27,389,872 cedis out of the payments to Sortina were backed by supplies. A review of Sortina bank account revealed that the bulk of the payments which Buffer Stock made to Sortina Enterprises bank accounts, about 98% of the over 78 million, were instantly retransferred to Alkani Enterprise, Fahauza Ventures, and other entities owned and controlled by or affiliated to Hanan Abdul-Wahab and Faiza Seidu Wuni, his wife. Under interrogation, Mr. Atieko Apau stated that although some of the funds received into Sortina's EcoBank and Republic Bank accounts were for the few genuine supplies backed by way bills and store receipt vouchers, in most instances, no supplies were made, but he noticed that Buffer Stock kept making payments to his company, Sortina Enterprise. He also admitted that other third-party companies, which our investigations have established to be license buying companies or suppliers to Buffer Stock, also made several payments into Sortina's account. He said he neither knew the promoters of these companies, nor did his company have any business dealing with them. He further explained that whenever such payments were deposited in Sortina's account, he was prompted by Hanan Abdul-Wahab to expect the transfer and was later instructed on where to move or retransfer the funds. A review of some of the retransfers of the funds paid to Sortina Enterprise by Buffer Stock Company revealed as follows. From Sortina Enterprise to Hanan Abdul-Wahab, 60,179,137 Ghana cedis. Sortina Enterprise to Alkani, 23,913,964 Ghana cedis and 90 pesos. From Sortina Enterprise to Fahauza, 500,000 Ghana cedis. Sortina Enterprise to Chain Homes, 550,000.
So that's, the aged detailing how this whole mechanism was put in place. But Papa, what asset, or did he review the asset that have been acquired with these alleged stolen funds? And what actions did the Attorney General say will be taking to recover these assets?
Well, the Attorney General in that news conference disclosed that the couple used the funds to acquire several high-end properties, including a 5-bedroom house bought from Chain Homes Limited at a cost of 1.625 million, not cedis, but in dollars. A 3-bedroom house at Cantonments from Golden Coast developer at a cost of $600,000. And the AG goes ahead to talk about in some properties that they got, in fact, the architects were different, some of them overseas. The developers were in the country, also paid in dollars. In fact, at some point, a state land or government land was also bought in an original name of some other woman, which was later transferred to Hanan, and then later again another transfer to the wife of Hanan. We can listen to the Attorney General.
A 5-bedroom house bought from Chain Homes Limited, between February 2019 and December 2020 at a cost of $1,625,000. The couple purchased a 3-bedroom house at Cantonments from Golden Coast Developers Limited at a cost of $600,000 United States of American dollars, using two of their companies, Fahauza Ventures, owned by the wife, and Fahauza Company Limited, owned jointly by the couple. Between October 2019 and February 2021, the couple purchased plots at Fanali's airport development site for $750,000 United States of American dollars. The total payments were made in cash in the name of Faiza Seidu Wuni. Subsequently, in July 2021, Faiza Seidu Wuni signed a contract with a construction company, Mendaha and Souza Construction Limited, at a cost of $691,650 United States of American dollars to construct the shell and the core of the building. This excludes the cost of architectural designs from Ansara Architecture Pty Limited, based in South Africa. The building sitting on Trade Plus is now estimated to be valued at $2,500,000 United States of American dollars. The couple also purchased 0.32 acres of government land from one Anthony Duke Essien. Duke Essien used his sister, Antoinette Chibodako, a staff of the Dankwa Institute, as a front to purchase from the Ministry of Lands and the Ministry of Lands and the Lands Commission at a price of 307,200 Ghana cedis. Duke Essien then instantly sold the land to Hanan Abdul-Wahab and received about 2,567,000 Ghana cedis. Antoinette then wrote to the Lands Commission in March 2020 to instruct them that the lease should be in the name of Hanan Abdul-Wahab. In May 2020, she made a U-turn and wrote to the Lands Commission to withdraw the documents bearing the name of Hanan Abdul-Wahab and now replaced it with the name of the wife, Faiza Seidu Wuni. The couple developed 4 units of 4-bedroom apartments on the said land. Other properties acquired by the couple are as follows. A 17-bedroom boutique hotel at Gumani in Tamale, in respect of which the couple used Fauza Company Limited to sign a franchise with Villa Monticello for the price of $250,000. In other words, $250,000. There is a 4-bedroom bungalow situated at Jolo, Accra, valued at 4.1 million cedis. 3-story building, that is Chicken Republic, the Chicken Republic building in Tamale, situated at Estate Junction, Tamale. 5-bedroom mansion at Canville, Dorado Street, Tamale. 3-bedroom house, Palissy, Tamale. 1-story building, number 10 Selby Gardens, Achimota, Accra. Then a 0.27-acre plot of land, Estate Junction, Tamale. 0.29 acre of land, close to Workers' College, Tamale.
Well, Papa, according to the AG, how did Abdul-Wahab, a public servant, afford such luxury properties and assets given his salary?
Well, he's told us that at least he's interviewed both of them. And for Abdul Hanan, he tells us that Abdul Hanan, at the time of being working as Buffer Stock CEO in 2017, he was earning around 17,000 Ghana cedis. 8 years later, after 2024, when he was exiting office, his salary was somewhere around 24,000, 28,000 Ghana cedis. And then they interviewed his wife, who said that she was a housewife, and her husband was sort of paying her or giving her 5,000 Ghana cedis a month. But we are talking about properties worth millions of dollars. And therefore, the AG comes to the conclusion that there's more in this. It also talks about what other things they use some of these monies to buy. That the wife owned luxury bags. The husband also bought luxury watches, some of which more than 1 million cedis.
When interrogated, Faiza Wuni, the wife of Hanan, said she was a housewife being paid 5,000 Ghana cedis a month by the husband. So that is the legitimate income that we know. We have also taken note of the legitimate earnings of Hanan Abdul-Wahab when he was appointed. His initial salary from 2017 was 14,000 Ghana cedis, a little above 14,000 Ghana cedis. He exited Buffer Stock in December 2024 with a salary of 28,000 per month. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do your mathematics, all right? And there are no other sources of legitimate earnings apart from these that I have named. Do your mathematics and tell me, in good faith, whether a couple earning this amount of money can buy a house costing 1.6 million United States of American dollars at chain homes. That is the question, not for the gods, but for us as citizens to be able to answer, and answer very well through the accountability process. We have frozen all the assets of Hanan that I have listed, including a 10 million Ghana cedis fixed deposit account at Republic Bank, Labone branch. That is the liquid assets. They also, had a lot of bags. I didn't want to list them. The wife has over 61 luxury bags, all right? Name them. He himself was buying watches, some costing as much as 1.5 million Ghana cedis and so on. We have taken note of all of them. And so we've done the freezing, including those of the vehicles.
Well, so those are the details provided by the Attorney General. But do we know when the charges will be filed and what's the next step in the proceedings?
But the Attorney General announced that the charges against Hanan Abdul-Wahab and his wife, Faiza Seidu Wuni, will be filed on Friday, October 24, 2025. The AG's office will then proceed with the criminal proceedings aiming to confiscate the assets acquired with the funds to the state.
Now, in a strongly worded statement, the former National Food and Buffer Stock Company CEO, Hanan Abdul-Wahab, has vehemently denied allegations of corruption made by the Attorney General Dominic Ayine. Abdul-Wahab described the claims as quote-unquote untrue and deeply unfortunate, asserting that he has no involvement in the issues being referred to. He says he has instructed his lawyers to review the situation and to take necessary steps to protect his reputation, and express confidence that the truth will be revealed in court, where he looks forward to presenting his side of the story. So that is the side coming from Hanan Abdul-Wahab there. This is Top Story, brought to you by Telecel, Holy Insecticide Spray and Coil, and then Shield Pension Trust. Let me bring in Vitus Azim, who is an anti-corruption campaigner. Grateful to you, Mr. Azim, for joining us here. Now, how does this revelations come to you as an anti-corruption campaigner?
Hello? Hello?
Mr. Azim, can you hear me, Mr. Azim?
Yes.
Yes.
It's Martin.
Okay, so I want to start with you, Mr. Vitus Azim. Mr. Azim, as an anti-corruption campaigner, how does these revelations by the AG come to you?
My first impression, I have a very good impression about the type of corruption investigation that was done. It's so impressive. The way they are able to identify all these assets, their locations. It's so surprising that a government institution can carry out these investigations and uncover all these things. Now it's left to the same government institution to try to prove this in court that they were illegal, they were acquired through illegal means. And of course, as you have read, the accused person will definitely come out to deny. And so the Attorney General has a very big task to go. But it is very painful that public individuals, you see, sometimes we used to think that they take these monies maybe for the government, party in power, that's why they don't pursue them. But these assets are acquired in individual names, their own names. So I just don't know how to look at it, because it's so surprising and painful that this is what is happening in this country. People are just siphoning state resources into their personal pockets, allegedly anyway.
But it begs the question, how come nobody flagged this sort of corruption that was happening then?
Yeah, that is the other side of it. Because each institution is supposed to have an internal audit unit, or at least an internal auditor, that should even be able to prevent any transactions taking place that are not legal. So you wonder, how did this happen? And they are withdrawing the funds from a public account. So you wonder, how are they able to do this without anybody noticing it or discovering it? And that's why there's a need for further investigations. And it should not just be the people that have taken these monies that should be prosecuted. It should be possible to look at who slept on his job, or even connived and condoned in the acts that led to these corrupt practices.
But year in, year out, after every government, these matters come up. Would they
Can you raise your voice?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, it's better.
I'm saying that year in, year out, after every government, these matters come up. What must we do to ensure that we really nip this matter or these kind of issues in the bud?
It is such that, see, corruption is a very difficult thing to deal with. We have the laws in place, we have the institutions in place, yet we are not able to deal effectively with this, because we tend to politicize these corruption acts. And the people that are supposed to ensure that these acts don't take place are sometimes either actively participating, or they just turn a blind eye to what is happening. And that's why we are not able to deal with it. So how can we deal with it? We would probably have to enforce the laws. And the individuals that are supposed to enforce the laws to may have a problem. They may be involved, and so all the investigations, future investigations, must also cover the people that are supposed to monitor and ensure that these acts don't happen. We should not just look at the institutions themselves, but the other institutions that are supposed to monitor and ensure that these things are avoided. And then, of course, the sanctions must be stiff and harsh. If it's found that you have done any of these acts, then you should be strictly punished.
Mr. Azim, I'm grateful to you for your time here on our show.
Okay.
Let me bring in lawyer Martin Pegbu. He was a member of the oral team. We understand that this whole work emanated from the work that they did. Martin, I'm grateful to you, sir, for joining us here. Now, this issue is about the law, and usually the person who has to prove this is on the AG, right? If you look at it, really, what can we do about the law such that these matters, we wouldn't be hearing or listening to them because these are just too much?
Wow. Kojo, as for the first part, that we will not hear such matters again, it looks like it's a long shot because deviance will always be with us from Adam and Eve. Okay, even in the advanced countries, even in Singapore, where they are very harsh on corruption, in China, where people are killed for corruption, even in Ghana here, when we killed some heads of state, a FIFA, a champion, etc., it didn't raid the country of corruption. So it tells you that it will continue to be with that, but we can do a lot to stem it. So let's see how we can tighten the laws. Number one would be the asset declaration law. You see that the current law we have is not fit for purpose. It's outdated. This kind of asset declaration law that verification is not done, and then the assets are not published. That's when the public servant declares his assets. It's not published. We used to do that under the military regime. PNDC law, is it 280? Yeah, we had a law like that. We also need to change the reverse, bring in the reverse burden so that, Article 286, Clause 4, which says that if we find you with any property and you cannot explain it by way of income, inheritance, loan, or gift, is deemed to have been illegally acquired. Let's use that provision to pass an act of parliament around the corruption offenses, so that once we find the people with the assets, classical case, Sicilia Dapa, you see it, then it's all your burden to prove. We have a bit of it in the Anti-Money Laundering Act, but that's for only anti-money laundering. Let's extend it to the corruption offenses. Then we'll be making progress, so that they will have the burden of explaining how they got it. If they can't explain, then it's corrupt money. We also need to bring this new law that Daniel Domlevo has been championing, Fair Trial Act, that will say that if you start a case, you must finish in, let's say, a year and a half or maximum 2 years, so that every Ghanaian knows that, this Mustafa Walai case went to court, let's say, July, so and so. Then we know that in 2 years it must come to an end. So the judge knows that come rain or shine, it must finish within 2 years. So the judge would then be able to plan well with the lawyers and say, look, this is the timeline. You all must fit in, right? And then it can be done. But currently, it takes a lot from some judges who have to use a lot of, for lack of a better word, force, to force lawyers that, look, I'm sitting every day. Whether you come here or not, the case will go on, and then even sometimes as lawyers, then we think those judges are harsh, etc. So we, even in the profession, we need a mindset change. So if the law comes, it will help a lot. So we all know the definite period. If this case starts today, it must end on a certain date, very clear, black and white, and that will move us forward. There are other changes we can make. I don't know if we have time to continue.
Grateful to you, and this is what time would allow us, but there will be still much more wherever you are. This has been Top Story brought to you by Telecel Connecting Energies, Holy Insecticide Spray and Coil. Enjoy Holy Sleep and Shield Pension Trust into the future with you. Up next is NewsNight.
Tonight, Attorney General sends out passionate appeal for patience as public pressure mounts on him to expedite prosecutions and secure convictions in fulfillment of campaign promise to recover all loot.
Those who are pushing me to go to court and who are saying that by now convictions should have been obtained. Accountability takes time. I was never an incompetent lawyer in private practice. I don't want to be an incompetent lawyer in public service.
We have the latest as he fights back against allegations he's cutting deals to let corrupt former government officials off the hook.
I'm under no pressure from any quarters to cut any deals. Offers have been made and I have turned all of them down. In the Wontumi case, offers were made to us. I said no, I'm filing charges.
Also tonight, National Service Authority scandal takes a shocking turn as Attorney General unveils fresh evidence revealing the alleged embezzled amount has more than quadrupled following a forensic audit.
Into the NSA, the National Service scandal, and the total amount of money stolen or illegally spent now stands at 2.2 billion and not the 548 million that was uncovered by my investigators.
The AG has also directed a forensic audit into the National Cathedral saga.
We have actually requested that the Auditor General should conduct another forensic audit.
Also tonight, reintroduction of anti-LGBTQ bill in Parliament in January's heated controversy as Minority Leader accuses the NDC of backtracking from its previous stance.
You force LGBT on the throat of the Akufo-Addo government. Today, you don't want LGBT. You would want it. Mumbe peppa. Mumbe peppa, papa.
The Majority Leader has been responding.
Track record of the NDC in this matter is very clear.
In business,
Ghana to demand $200 more on every ton of premium cocoa being sold under European Union deforestation regulation.
And in sports, next phase of Matchroom Boxing's global expansion to take place next month in Ghana.
and then later here on NewsNight in the latest NSMQ results. Krobo Girls SHS shines and glitters over two-time finalists St. Francis Xavier and Business SHS to book 1A stage spot at the 2025 NSMQ preliminary round.
The good Lord brought us this far. We were eliminated last year, but then this year we came back stronger.
Details after this.
You get them. I get them. I send them. I get them. I pay them.
Telecel cash.
I get them. I pick them.
Telecel cash.
You get them.
I send them. Telecel cash.
I send them. You get them.
Telecel cash.
I get them.
I buy them. I take them.
I pay them. I send them.
Telecel cash. Telecel Cash.
Experience the ultimate convenience of sending money on Telecel Cash. Sending money from Telecel Cash to Telecel Cash is free. You can also make payments to merchants on all networks. Enjoy best value and total security with Telecel Cash.
Telecel. Connecting energies.
Couldn't sleep at night. Mosquitoes will be whining in my ears. Bugging me all night long. Till I got a remedy. Now I'll be spraying them away with holy insecticide spray. I go spray them away with holy insecticide spray. When I sleep, me dana mada with holy insecticide spray.
Holy mosquito coil, holy multi-purpose insecticide spray. Ghana Kron Kron. For bulk purchase, call 0302-681582. This advert is FDA approved.
No. You look so relaxed and cheerful these days. What's your secret?
No secret, Kofi. I just sorted out my retirement with Shield Pension Trust. You should talk to them.
Retirement? A small time before pension.
Share. The earlier you start, the better. And Shield Pension Trust makes this so easy for you. They've got amazing plans to choose from. I even signed up for the Shield Cedi Crow a day personal pension scheme, which lets you save as little as 1 Ghana cedi a day. So what's your retirement? Isn't that great?
1 cedi a day.
Exactly. And the best part is, I sign up automatically on the Dachia Promoting Plan, which guarantees me medical insurance when I go on retirement.
Hey, you've convinced me. I need to sign up now.
Kofi is making a move to secure his future and health insurance when he goes on retirement. What about you? Go to Shield Pension Trust or call us now on 050-915-0253 and we'll guide you through securing your pension tomorrow. Shield Pension Trust, into the future with you.
Announcing Ghana's first unlimited photocopier leasing. Yes, from just 983 Ghana cedis, you can lease a multifunctional photocopier and print unlimited. Yes, unlimited and free paper every month. Guess what? That's not all. Toners, repairs, and maintenance all are free. And oh, I'm not kidding at all. And we cover the whole country. Yes, the whole country. What are you waiting for? Just visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244 644048. I repeat, or call 0244 644048. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Valix Lease, affordable document management solutions.
This is really good. Missing that real taste of Ghana? Your favorite kitchen is calling. Living Room Restaurant, famous for mouth-watering authentic Ghanaian dishes, has a brand new home. We've moved. Find your favorite food now at our bigger, better spot on the Trinity Avenue, Baalishi, East Legon. It's the same incredible flavors, same warm Ghanaian hospitality, just a fresh new location, and now with live band on weekends. You can also book our lovely spaces for your private event at the same venue and enjoy the same great service. Visit us today at Trinity Avenue, Baalishi, East Legon. Living room, simply delicious.
And you're live, your NewsNight is on Joy 99.7 FM. The Attorney General, Dominic Ayine, has been under pressure lately to expedite prosecutions and secure convictions, with some questioning his commitment to President John Mahama's Operation Recover or Loot agenda. He had been publicly criticized by a prominent member of the Oral Committee and former Auditor General, Daniel Demelovo.
The procedure that Attorney General currently is using is going to be very difficult. 9 months. 9 months is not small. Before we realize we have finished a quarter of the term of President Mahama. So it begs one question. Doesn't mean they didn't prepare before coming to office.
Well, that's Daniel Demelovo there. Well, today the Attorney General has made a passionate appeal for patience while addressing a news conference. He called out those who claims he is being influenced to slow down the pace of the prosecution, and he also calls out those he claims are paying bloggers to undermine the fight to recover alleged loot under the oral agenda.
The oral reports are still coming into my office. Now, those who are pushing me to go to court and who are saying that by now convictions should have been obtained, I know you are Ghanaians, you have legitimate expectations of your government officials, including the president and the Attorney General. But we need to do a good job. Accountability costs resources. Accountability, takes time. And so it is important that Ghanaians are patient so that we have the kind of results that I'm announcing today. Not that I will rush to court. Defense lawyers will come and raise objections, throw my case out, and then the same Ghanaians who wanted me to go to court expeditiously will now turn around and say that Ayine is an incompetent Attorney General. I was never an incompetent lawyer in private practice. I don't want to be an incompetent lawyer in public service. So I want us to take our time to do the kind of work that I'm announcing today. From now onwards, when we are announcing the conclusion of investigations, we are either contemporaneously filing charges or we are filing them immediately thereafter. I hope that Ghanaians will bear with us to do an excellent job for this republic. The oral will work. Forget about those who are paying bloggers to blog that oral is failing. Oral is on course and will work for the good of the people of this country. We will exact accountability to the extent justifiable by law. As I said, I will not do anything outside the law for political expediency reasons. I won't.
Well, the Attorney General today also broke his silence on the accusations he is cutting deals to let corrupt former government officials off the hook.
So I want us to take our time to do the kind of work that I'm announcing today. And I want to also let you know that I'm under no pressure from any quarters to cut any deals. Mr. President, who is my boss, has never put pressure on me. On the contrary, when I brief him, he gives me his blessing. He doesn't even express an opinion one way or the other. He says, Dominic, I've heard you. All right? The Chief of Staff has never put pressure on me to cut a deal with anybody. The Secretary to the President, Dr. Kalisus Mahama, has never put pressure on me. On the contrary, he encourages me. He says the work is stressful, but I should keep on. The Legal Counsel to the President, my former boss, has never put pressure on me to cut any deal. Offers have been made, and I have turned all of them down. I have told everybody, please go to the court. If you want a pleas deal, I'm filing cases. In the Wuntumi case, offers were made to us for a plea deal. I said, no, I'm filing charges. If you want, announce your intention for a plea deal to the judge. That is now my strategy. The MPP took advantage of my saying that I'm open to to having plea deals to say, okay, that I was busy cutting deals in the office. No deal has been cut, and no deal will be cut except under the auspices of the court of competent jurisdiction. That is what I have decided, and that is what we are going to do, going forward.
Well, Justice Abdullah's lawyer joins us on the line right now. Justice, do you have any sympathies for the Attorney General when he calls for patience in recovering the loot the NDC alleged under the oral agenda?
Indeed, I mean, that is rather, I think, if you like, an interesting question, considering that the Attorney General unfortunately finds himself in a very awkward position. And I say this because major part of the campaign leading to the ousting of the previous government was on the basis of corruption. And so naturally coming into office, after crying wolf that the previous government was corrupt from all angles, literally from A to Z. And then coming into office, naturally everyone expected that we'd be seeing a lot of prosecutions all over. Indeed, Ghanaians are not seeing that, and it's legitimate that people raise concerns. So in fact, it's actually the reason that I commended the AG initially when he started with the press briefings, because I thought that was very good by engaging all of us and indeed stakeholders as to what was happening, because nobody was willing to cut them any slack. They had cried that the previous government was so corrupt, and we all bought into that, and legitimately so. So when you come in, we are not seeing anything, naturally. Getting the level of sympathy that one would have wished the AG would have was clearly unavailable. But it's good that the AG continues to engage the general public. But if you notice, there have been some hiatus from the last time the AG engaged the general public up to today. I think it's been about 3 or more than 4 months. And then I think it was partly because we kept getting briefings but no prosecutions. And so people were still agitated. In fact, that's how come the name callings also started and all of that. But I think today's briefing was good in all. But I expect that right after the briefing, I expect that tomorrow, or worst case scenario by next week, we should be in court with the suspect. I mean, I do not want to see a long period of waiting until this matter also ends up in court. Otherwise,
in one case today,
a cycle of perpetuation of information flow, but without any action.
In one case today, he makes the point that on Friday he is going to be filing the charges, and this is in reference to the buffer stock company, and that each time he does a press conference, he will do so with charges in hand. Either they are filing it as he addresses the press, or they file it shortly thereafter. And he read out the charges today. But you were a lawyer. You have made the point, and rightly so, that Aura was a partisan campaign promise. The NDC must have known that prosecutions and loot recovery is entirely subject to law. And as we know, justice grinds slowly. What realistically will be the time frame to expect when from the time a case starts to the time that is concluded? I've heard people say on average you're talking about 3 years, that you can't expect it anytime soon, especially when you're dealing with a criminal trial.
Well, to be fair, I mean, it is very difficult to put timelines on any given case. It is very difficult, particularly with our jurisprudence, whether criminal or civil jurisprudence, because there's an open-ended opportunity to appeal every single decision. And so even if a judge bails and one disagrees with the way and the manner the judge bails, it could be a subject of an appeal. So it will be very difficult for anyone to put timelines on it. In fact, if you ask, maybe the average time I'll probably give you will be a year. I mean, within a year, you should be able to commence a matter and conclude it. But that is only provided that no one unduly take advantage of all the opportunities that may exist from the time the case commences to the day the judgment is delivered. And even that, if the people, I mean, any party to the suit against whom a decision is made will be willing to accept that decision. So it's quite difficult genuinely to put a timeline on our cases, whether criminal or civil jurisprudence. But however, it is easier to say that a year should be enough from the day that a case is put before a court until the day it is determined. But of course, that once again, the complexities of the case would also have a role to play in this. And then the multitude of witnesses would have roles to play in this. In fact, all of that may probably go into the complexities of a given case.
Justice Abdullah, thank you very much. Now, let's stay with the Attorney General, because at his press conference today, he dropped further revelations. The troubles of former National Service Authority directors have taken a dramatic turn, with the Attorney General revealing that a forensic audit has uncovered a staggering quadrupling of the amount allegedly embezzled. The Deputy Director General of the NSA, Gifty Mensah, was in court earlier to plead not guilty to multiple criminal charges filed against her in connection with the alleged 38 million Ghana cedi ghost name scandal. Shortly after the court granted her bail, Attorney General Dominic Ayine provided an update on the case.
Gentlemen, prosecutions have commenced in the SkyTrain and National Service scandals. In the case of the latter, we have filed charges against the former Chief Executive, Executive Director, Osea Sibe, and his deputy, Gifty Owari. Charges are being prepared against the rest of the public officers and the so-called marketplace vendors. In all, we intend to file about 10 cases in the NSA scandal and will use some of the public officers and vendors as prosecution witnesses. Now, this is a strategy that is working very well for us, and we intend to continue to use that strategy. In a situation where there is a small criminal among big criminals, and the small criminal knows a lot, it is better as a matter of prosecutorial strategy to use a small criminal to get the information in order to be able to succeed, and that is what I'm doing. Also, I wish to announce that the Auditor General has conducted a forensic audit into the NSA, the National Service scandal, and the total amount of money stolen or illegally spent now stands at 2.2 billion, and not the 548 million that was uncovered by my investigators as at June 2025. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I have here a copy of the Auditor General's report. Again, painstaking investigation is very important in criminal matters. And so, based upon what the Auditor General has done, and this is a forensic audit, okay? Forensic audit means that they've gone beyond what ordinary, auditing would have done. And so, we are going to, based upon this, in some cases, change the charge, amend our charge sheet in order to bring fresh charges.
Well, the National Cathedral subject, he says, he's also ordered for a forensic audit.
Investigations are still ongoing in respect of the following matters: All African Games, mathematical sets, Bank of Ghana new building, stadia renovation, and National Cathedral. In the case of the National Cathedral, we have actually requested that the Auditor General should conduct another forensic audit. and he's being held by one of the big four accounting companies to be able to do this.
It's a live here on NewsNight. It's on Joy 99.7 FM. Now, tonight, plans to reintroduce the controversial anti-LGBTQ bill in Parliament has generated huge debate, dividing the House. On the floor, we heard from both sides, a minority accusing the NDC of backtracking on their previous stand while in opposition. Yesterday, the bill was listed to be presented but was removed from the order paper. Majority Leader Mahama Yariga responded that the bill had already been passed. Deputy Minority Whip Habib Idrisu demanded answers immediately when the bill was removed from the order paper today.
Mr. Speaker, today, order paper, the Human Sexual Rights and Family Value Bill 2025, LBGT, is confusedly missing in the order paper. Mr. Speaker, we are aware that this is new to this parliament, but it's not new to the House. In the 8th Parliament, we know that the bill elapsed, and that is why yesterday it was reintroduced. And Mr. Speaker, speaking with some of the sponsors of the bill, they indicated that they have satisfied under Order 186, and they appear before the committee, able chaired by you. They were informed, and we are all aware how an item can get onto the order paper. It means that it might have gone through all the process, and if they satisfy under Order 186, and then Speaker is being advised, and it has been sent to the clerk at table, and today, the LGBTQ bill is missing. Mr. Speaker, it is a serious matter because we cannot yesterday have bills advertised on the order paper, and today, same bills have been missing without anything being explained to anybody. We, the leadership of the minority here, we are not aware as to why it has not been captured in today's order paper. Neither are the sponsors.
Well, Majority Leader Mahama Yaiga responded to concerns of why the item was removed from the order paper.
So when we drew the attention of the Speaker to the advertisement, he indicated that he did not recall approving that it should be advertised. And the clerk told me that he thought the bills had gone through the processes. But Speaker said, well, you have to bring me the evidence, because I don't recall approving that these two bills should be advertised. We indicated that we thought that the bills had been passed by this House already and had been sent to the presidency for assent. And so we didn't see the need to reconsider a bill that has already been passed by this House, waiting for presidential assent, unless the constitutional procedure for returning the bill to us is complied with by the President, for us to reconsider and then use our two-thirds majority to approve the bill, even if the presidency had some issues with it. So Speaker then actually instructed the clerk to reconsider his action. I believe it is in that spirit that today the table office did not advertise that bill.
Let me bring in parliamentary correspondent Kweku Asante joins us in the studio. So then the minority leader got up. He wasn't happy with what he's heard from his majority colleague.
Yes, exactly. And now the bill is really in abeyance. The bill has not been laid. There are those who say the bill has to come to Parliament again and be passed. And we know that Alexander Fejomakin is opposed to criminalizing homosexuality. But he says the NDC played politics with this matter while in opposition and therefore cannot run away from this. And the bill must come to Parliament again and must be passed.
There was nothing administratively in error. I dare say for the records. You force LGBT on the throat of the Akufo-Addo government. Today, you don't want LGBT. You would want it. Mumbe pepa. Mumbe pepa papa papa. You use it to win election. Now, when your stakeholders, the international community, is warning you. You want to run away. Run to where? You now see governance. You are in the kitchen. You see the heat. I was there. We will plead with you. Let's manage this situation. You say no. Remember that hot afternoon? Agboja, as a chief whip. You remember that hot afternoon? When you suffocated me with third reading. You are laughing. Mr. Speaker, this bill.
What is the meaning of what you said?
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Sometimes when I look at majority leader, it's not easy. It's not easy. Mr. Speaker, what I'm trying to tell them is that, you see, when they were in opposition, they forced this bill on us. Even when it was in court, they say the bill must be signed into law. We heard President Mahama, His Excellency. He said, oh, the bill, he's seen it, but he's referring it to the Attorney General. That was January. And then there would be, they will look at the very clauses, the aspect of criminalizing it and bringing a conviction and sentencing where the person must suffer a jail term. The very thing that you wanted it, he said, oh, they have to look at it and change it.
So how did the majority leader respond to this?
Well, the majority leader says their record on this matter is consistent. They were the ones who got the bill passed in the last parliament. And then as far as they are concerned, it is up to the president now to take some decisions on it. And if ultimately it comes to it and the president refuses to sign, they will use their 2/3 majority to override the president's veto.
The track record of the NDC in this matter is very clear. Mr. Speaker, history will bear testimony that as far back as when the late President John Evans Atta Mills was president, and the United Kingdom government tried to get us to be favorable towards certain legislation. We resisted, we rejected, and we stood our grounds. So I can assure you, and I can assure every Ghanaian, that under the watch of the NDC government, this practice will not be allowed. I am saying that under the watch of the NDC government, this practice will not be allowed. Mr. Speaker, so far as I'm concerned, even when we were a minority, we succeeded in passing this bill. And so far as the records will bear it, the bill has been passed. All that we're saying is that so far as we are concerned, this House passed the bill. This House passed the bill. But I've just said it, that this House passed the bill. Mr. Speaker, we will wait for Speaker to return. We will wait for Speaker to return and give directions in this matter.
But if it's been passed, Kweku, then the sponsors, they should be happy because their job is done. They just await the president's signature. Have they been responding to this?
Well, yes, the sponsors hold a contrary view. They are of the school of thought that once the bill did not get assent in the last parliament and that parliament expired, that bill has also expired and that it has to come back to parliament. And so John Ntimfordjo, who is now leading the effort, says that bill must be reintroduced. It must be reinstated on the other paper immediately.
Asking NDC government, where is the Human Sexual Rights Bill, which had gone through all the processes and approved? Today, the majority leader is telling us that Speaker is not aware. the clerk is not aware. And the first deputy speaker is saying he's not aware. But he chaired the committee that approved this bill as private members' bill. It was the speaker who approved this same bill and director for gazetting. It was the clerk who wrote the letter accompanying the gazetting. So why is everybody saying they are not aware? Suddenly, this goes clearly to indicate that there seems to be a clear attempt by NDC government to run away from this bill. And we're asking the question, why are they running away from this bill? A bill that they thought was important yesterday must be important today. Even more so, recent developments have heightened the discomfort of Ghanaians. At the time when we began this bill in 2021, we never had two South African gay couples coming to the Independence Square to openly kiss and declare themselves gay couple and declaring independence and freedom, calling out every practitioner of LGBT to show up. We did not see that. But under President Mahama, that has occurred. So we are demanding that that bill must be reintroduced today. An addendum must be raised for it to be brought back. We will not allow NDC government to run away from the bill. It's a bill that is important to all of Ghanaians. We all know the propaganda they put up to this bill, the lies they peddled. But we passed it when we were in government. Why are they running away from passing the bill? We are demanding that the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill be passed now. Be passed now. And not deferred to any other time.
And you're live here on NewsNight is on Joy 99.7 FM. Still ahead, urgent calls for intervention as healthcare facilities in some parts of the central region are resorting to treating patients with sachet water due to a shortage caused by galamsey. We will be hearing from the former registrar of the Medical and Dental Council Ghana as we bring you today's episode of Dear Mahama Stop Galamsey Now. Plus, your comments, 055-11-11997. Let's do some business now. And James Ishan is here with the latest.
All right, Evans, coming up in business this evening. Ghana to demand $200 more on every ton of premium cocoa beans sold under European Union deforestation regulation. And new data from Ghana Statistical Service reveals informal trade between Ghana and Togo accounted for over 60% of total cross-border trade in fourth quarter of 2024. Business News on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one stop shop for all of its essentials, Syntex tanks, and Pepsodent Herbal and Charcoal.
Ah, Ma, have you received the delivery?
Sis, the rider's bay. Send in the momo.
Okay, *176.
Ah, Paco, don't you use a smartphone? Use the momo app, ne?
Huh? Abba app.
Hey, I want to say a millennium, say millennial. Inyim. Oh, millennium for ya nyaze. Switch to the app. Oh, you're smart. And oh, you're secure.
Enter a world of possibilities with the Momo app. Pay your favorite merchant, pay utility bills, and borrow from our wide range of lending services. Move to the app side today. MTN.
Son, we are so proud of you for setting up this hospital. I really love those hospital beds and waiting chairs. By the way, did you import them?
No, Dad, I didn't. I actually got them from Kingdom Books and Stationery right here in Ghana.
Wow. We also bought our office supplies, safes, executive desks and chairs from Kingdom, and they gave us expert advice on how to set up our office.
Guys, that makes 3 of us. I also got our sofa and bedroom sets, plus our dining hall furniture for our new home from Kingdom.
Wow, Mom, that makes 4 of us. I usually get my stationery items from Kingdom, and my teacher also mentioned that our classroom furniture was provided by Kingdom.
So there you have it. Whenever you're thinking about setting up an office or acquiring furniture for your home, etc.,
Kingdom Books and Stationery should be your first port of call.
With over 40 years experience in the industry, we stock and supply a wide variety of globally sourced office and home furniture, stationery and equipment. Visit our head office,
Takweje, Osu near the Osu Cemetery, Temania Community 4, Takoradi opposite Vijay Mays Plaza, Cape Coast, University Bookshop, Bookshop, Spintex Road near Absa Bank, Atomic Centerpoint Mall, Winneba University Campus, KNUST, the University Bookshop, and Santasi in Kumasi. You can also visit our shop online, www.kingdomstoreonline.com. Hurry while stock lasts. For further inquiries, contact us on 050-162-0810 or 0302-764-101. Email info@kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, where quality and affordability is assured. Terms and conditions apply.
At Star Oil, we believe fuel is not just a commodity, it is a lifeline. Every cedi saved at the pump is a cedi that helps a mother send her child to school. A farmer transports food to the market, or a young entrepreneur deliver their first order. Our mission is to make fuel more accessible by offering consistently competitive prices, helping ease the financial burden on Ghanaian households. In a country where transportation costs can consume nearly a third of household income, this is not just business. It's a social responsibility. Star Oil, still quality and affordable fuels for all.
For many years, we've been solving Ghana's water storage problems with quality tanks. Sintex tank. You know, it is strong, it's tough, and reliable. And now, we're in to solve the #1 problem when it comes to water carriage: our pipes. With the state-of-the-art machinery, Sintex is providing very strong, tough, reliable, high quality, and durable pipes at a reasonable price. This is Sintex Pipes. With Sintex Pipes, water flows wow. I mean, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. If they carry water, no wahala. With Sintex Pipe, our water problems are solved. Sintex, are you strong? Are you tough?
Brushing gets more fun with your kids with the new Pepsodent Kids toothpaste. Give your smiles protection that lasts. Grab yours today from a store near you. This advert is FDA approved.
The winning season is back, but this time I am collecting the wins like jollof at a wedding. The luckiest season 3 is here. Your chance to flip your luck or maybe your bank account too.
2 easy ways to join. Dial *712#. Hit 1 to buy for you or 2 to gift a friend. Feeling lucky? Pick 1 for a random number or hit 2 to choose your own. Pay with mobile money. Done. You're in.
Or go to the luckiestafrica.com, click community tickets, choose your number, or let the system do so for you. You can buy a ticket for your boo or your favorite barber. Pay with Momo or card if you're abroad.
1 ticket could turn your 1 Ghana cedi into 500 times more. And the whole community could win 10 times over.
Dial *712# or log on.
Let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
Every mosquito study run away.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back. My name is James Ish, and let's settle for the details now. And Ghana is preparing to demand a $200 a ton premium from the country's cocoa buyers for sustainably grown and traceable cocoa. This, according to a Bloomberg report, is in line with the European Union's deforestation regulations. The following report has more.
The EU deforestation regulation, known as EUDR, aims to tackle the felling of trees associated with the bloc's imports of commodities such as soy, cocoa, coffee, beef and palm oil. This week, the EU proposed granting companies a 6-month window to comply with the rules which both the EU Parliament and member states still need to sign off. Europe is the world's biggest cocoa consuming region. According to the cocoa marketing company, Ghana has invested in gadgets and a communication network which enables scanning cocoa beans at farms and then uploading the data onto an electronic platform. The cocoa marketing company revealed that major cocoa buyers are happy to pay the $200 surcharge because of the threat of fines from the EU. The company is making a case that sustainably produced and traceable beans come at a cost and must be paid for by the buyers as required under EU rules. Hence, Ghana is ready to demand for the money. If the payment is granted, Ghana, which is currently the second largest producer of cocoa in the world, could earn more to improve the well-being of farmers.
And that was a news desk report. Now, Ghana's informal trade with Togo accounted for over 60% of the country's total cross-border trade, which is estimated at $7.4 billion in the fourth quarter of 2024. This amounted to about 4.5 billion cedis. This was captured in the Ghana Statistical Service's maiden informal cross-border trade report. The report breaks down the numbers behind the transaction of goods and services between Ghana and its neighboring countries, which are mainly carried by truck or often carted on foot but remain invisible on official data. There's more in this report.
According to the report, the survey covered 321 border points across 10 out of the 16 administrative regions of the country, with the Volta region recording the highest of 76 border points. Trade with Togo remains the most informal out of the 3 neighboring countries. The eastern neighbor of Ghana led with the highest import of about 1.8 billion cedis, while Burkina Faso recorded the highest export of 1.7 billion cedis. The survey pointed out that more than 2/3 of formal imports, which represent 74.6% from neighboring countries, are food products, compared to almost 49.5% for informal imports. These imports are largely dominated by food items such as alcoholic beverages, cooking oil, livestock, and other beverages. Dr. Idrisu urged businesses to invest in the production of such consumables to reduce import dependency. In his recommendations, the government statistician called for reforms aimed at formalizing the informal sector and improving the porous nature of the country's border points.
Meanwhile, economics professor Peter Korte has called for stronger collaboration between Ghana and its neighboring countries to accurately measure the impact of informal trade on the country.
We've not been able to capture everything. I don't think the Statistical Service is able to capture 100% all the trade that flows across our borders. There are instances where people use unapproved routes and other means to trade. So we've not been able to capture, but at least it tells us that there's a significant trade amongst us between Ghana and Togo, Ghana and our eastern corridors and many other neighboring countries, and that calls for stronger collaboration. That calls for us to also look at some of the things we tend to import. And if we can ramp up production, then we can minimize how much of these goods that we import into the country.
And that was economist Professor Peter Korte. Now, the Association of African Sustainability Practitioners has commenced a 2-day event for the 6th Africa Sustainability Report and Think Energy SDGs Awards 2025. This focuses on Africa's progress toward achieving their sustainable development goals. President of the association, Humphrey Tete, emphasized the need for the banking sector to closely scrutinize financial inflows as a means to combat illegal mining, popularly called galamsey.
Money is the bottom line of all these things, and their money is packaged through the banking sector. So the banks should get to identify who are using the money to finance those activities, because it's just not mining again, it's destroying the environment. And one of the things about sustainability is we must ensure that our money doesn't go to destroy the environment. So I think the banking regulation or the banking sector should be very strict on that, and then we can really do some work when it comes to Galamsey. I don't think one person can just walk and buy excavators from his pockets, can take money from his pockets, but he definitely have to go through the banking sector. So there is something wrong there.
Humphrey Tete as the president of the Association of African Sustainability Practitioners. Now, Cape May Properties has extended its corporate social responsibility to support the fight against breast cancer. The company has donated some 225,000 cedis and packs of water and drinks to the breast cancer unit of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Speaking to journalists after the donation, General Manager of Cape May Properties, Pierre-Andrew Krigler, said the company will continue to support the hospital even after the Breast Cancer Awareness Month of October.
We believe that part of our corporate social responsibility is to make sure that we help our community. It's a big problem in Ghana, breast cancer, so it's one of the reasons we chose it. In actual fact, this is what we would call a partnership. We're not only donating money, this being one of the first, it's from our property sales as and when we get it, but this will also be skills from internal part of our company, skills that we can make use of, facility management, property management, make lives better for the people. It's really important for us. Money is not the only thing that makes the world go around. Anywhere between $20,000 and $50,000 annually, depending on the sales of our properties.
Pierre-Andrew Krigler as the general manager for Cape May Properties. And that's all for business on NewsNight with me, James Shen Evans.
James, thank you very much. Health facilities in Agona East and West are warning of a looming outbreak of waterborne diseases such as typhoid and cholera, as residents are forced to rely on polluted water following the shutdown of the Kwenyako headworks 2 months ago due to illegal mining. Some clinics now have to buy sachet water just to treat patients and clean their wards. In the second episode of Dear Mahama #Stop Galamsey, we tell you how Galamsey is crippling health facilities and putting lives at risk in Nyakrom and Kwesi Krom in the central region.
2 months ago, the Kwenyako headworks was shut down. As at September 2025, turbidity levels had soared to 94,800 NTU, nearly 190 times the safe level. The closure left 10 districts in the central region without water. Today, health workers fear a looming outbreak of waterborne diseases.
At times, we have to instead of them to have a start dose here, we ask them to take it at home because there is no water.
Maureen Eje Dansoa is the nurse in charge at the Kwesi Krom Chips compound in the Agona East district. These days, her hardest task is not treating the sick. It is finding water to keep the clinic running.
It's been very difficult. There is a nearby town. That's where we get our source of water. Because it's a borehole, it's free, but you have to pay for the motor, TNT. So actually, they will take at least 20 cedis. So if you have 1 gallon, it means you are paying 1 gallon for 20 Ghana cedis. And it's been very difficult.
With the facility's borehole broken, Maureen must trek to nearby towns with gallons or pay motorcycle riders, draining her own salary to keep the clinic open.
Yes, from my own pockets. Yes, please, from my own pockets. Nobody is paying.
The entire Kwesi Krom community now depends on the Offa Pond, a dark, stagnant pool of water shared with animals. For hundreds of families, this pond is their only lifeline. Maureen fears that this same water, polluted and smelly, could soon turn their daily struggles into a full-blown health crisis. Already, she says cases are appearing.
Definitely, there's going to be an outbreak of cholera. After maybe the case has been resolved, there's going to be an outbreak of cholera. And it has even started. I think last week we have diarrhea cases. The back of sachet water is 8 cedis. They can't afford it. So the water they fetch from the stream, they have been taking. So it's going to have a huge impact after the case is being resolved.
There is no water at our chief's compound. Patients who visit the facility are sometimes treated with sachet water.
Pure water. Oh, we can say we are pleading. At least if NGO or government, they should come to our aid.
Just a few kilometers away in Nyakrom, In the Agona West municipality, the story is no different. Here, residents now draw their water from the Accra River, dark tea-colored, polluted, and contaminated by human activities.
I hide Kwanyako na ye depend, but Zizi na galamsey for ye, was sense no way tiffy. And just a galamsey fight no, why you want still, and they no say, Eba say what the Sikaba mo way in sooner. A bear fine, I'm still one jay or hunty. They be just a Sikam more, I see you no more. And they are buying just all you know, say, or Kutia galamsey no way tiffy.
At the Nyakrum Health Center, Senior Physician Assistant and Head of the facility, Florence Mavis Odom, confronts the human cause of the water crisis. Her facility's borehole still runs, but the community's dependence on the polluted Accra River is now reflected in her case files.
Roughly in a month, we can say that about 10, 15, 20 depends. Yeah, once a while the typhoid, they report.
Florence warns that poor sanitation and unsafe water are making the people sick.
The water issue, because now the river, how it's being handled. You know, people go in, throw dust, rubbish and other things, dump rubbish, other pieces and other things. Last week, the assembly and then the municipal health directorates came around to distribute aquatap to purify the water that they use. It's not easy. We headed far, but today is just close to us and see what we are just facing today. So it still boils down to the government looking at it. If there are ways of getting rid of it totally, because I think people tried and they've lost their lives, but we still have to work at it, else Ghana will be in a great mess.
Health centers are surviving on sachet water, while communities drink from polluted rivers. In Kwesichikrom and Nyakrom, the fear of a full-blown health crisis grew more intense each day. Cholera, typhoid, and diarrhea are no longer distant threats. They are knocking at doors. If this is not an emergency, Mr. President, what is it? Emmanuel Jivenu, Joy News, Central Region.
You're live on NewsNight. It's on Joy 99.7 FM, and you can catch the full episode on many social media platforms. Let's do some sports now, and then Cranton is here with the latest.
Let's do some boxing news, and the next phase of Matchroom Boxing's global expansion will take place on the 20th of December in Ghana with the company's first ever show in West African soil. Matchroom CEO Frank Smith held explanatory talks in Ghana's capital, Accra, in August. And now Eddie Hearn has also told the ring that a deal has been agreed for the fair show to be held here. Although it's not part of the initial agreement, Eddie Hearn, he also added that the show 5 days before Christmas will act as a crucial precursor to the potential Anthony Joshua fight in the same city in February, even though he has suggested that Joshua could box again this year and insisted that it will not be on the card in December. The Champions League continues later tonight with a repeat of the 2017 Champions League final, with Real Madrid taking on Juventus. And Real Madrid, they are looking to continue their 100% record in the competition, while Juventus, who have drawn 2 of the opening 2 games, will be looking for their first win. The commentary will be live on Hits 103.9 FM. That's all for sports. Back to you,
Daniel, thank you very much. Now, Ghana needs at least $300 billion to adapt to its ever-changing climate. Now, Director of Climate Adaptation and Vulnerability at the Environmental Protection Agency, Nana Dr. Abdul-Wahab Amwa, warns that without this funding, adaptation will remain a distant dream, leaving critical infrastructure and entire communities at the mercy of the climate. Michael Ashali has more in this week's episode of Climate Focus.
The climate tide is changing. For years, it was only rumors, but now the effects are glaring. Nana Dr. Abdul-Wahab Amwa says the climatic conditions have truly changed and become almost unpredictable.
From 2000 to date, almost every year. So the frequency of flooding conditions had been increasing. The other things that we are also doing as people that are exacerbating the climate impact.
Nana Dr. Abdul-Wahab Amwa, Director of Climate Adaptation and Vulnerability at the Environmental Protection Agency, says we must adapt. That's why he is championing a national adaptation plan.
change. And so adaptation planning is looking at incorporating climate change adaptation issues into our development agenda, looking at it from medium to long term, instead of doing emergency responses.
Climate change has also become a major concern for many members of parliament who are pushing for green solutions to help Ghana weather the changing climate. Yao Frimpong Ado is chairman of the Environment, Science and Technology Committee of Parliament and chairman of the Climate Parliament.
The green energy is the new phenomenon now. So you need to establish green zones in the various parts of your country.
Adaptation doesn't come cheap. Nana Dr. Entry Boisiaku Amwa says the major hurdle to climate adaptation is financing.
I don't have, because they are now doing the costing, but we wouldn't estimate anything less than about 300 billion.
Billion
yes.
cedis or dollars?
Dollars.
Dr. Emmanuel Marfo, Climate Parliament Director for West and Central Africa, said the workshop aimed to strengthen collaboration between MPs, financial institutions, and renewable energy developers to expand Ghana's renewable energy landscape.
Once the members of parliament are exposed to the financial opportunities in the green space, they will be able to know where to go.
Climate Focus is brought to you by Joy News in partnership with Youth Bridge Foundation, bridging gaps for positive youth development, and the Climate Development Knowledge Network.
And I want to return to that news conference addressed by the Attorney General today. One of the accusations he put out is that the MPP's Ashanti Regional Chairman, actually, Entry Boisiaku, you know him as Chairman Wuntimi, had come to him to ask for a plea deal, and that he had told him that he won't cut any deal with him. He should go to court. I want to bring in his lawyer, Andy Apiakubi, joins us right now. Mr. Apiakubi, thanks for your time here on NewsNight. Did you go to the Attorney General asking for a plea deal? In that case, you are admitting your client is guilty?
Thank you very much, my brother. And a very good evening to all of you in the studio, and indeed a very good evening to my professor, the Attorney General. When you say that my client has gone to the Attorney General to negotiate for plea bargain, I will tell you that officially there is nothing like that has happened.
And unofficially?
Officially, we have not applied for any such facility. But I take it as, you see, I always tell you that the Attorney General is also the Minister for Justice, and therefore it is his duty to open the avenues for us. And indeed, I take it as an advertisement of the possibility of that facility and for our consideration. But we have not applied for such facility ahead of the hearing. Indeed, we are waiting for the Attorney General to serve us with the discoveries, for which we will go for the case management conferencing. All that has not happened. And indeed, we are not privy to any information that the Attorney General want to rely on in the prosecution. So it is too early in the day to even contemplate such an application. But we take it as Attorney General opening up the procedure to us in case we have forgotten, for Attorney General to remind us that that facility.
No, but this wasn't a reminder. He was categorical that you asked for a plea deal, and he told you that you should go to the court.
No, we have not. In fact, they are supposed to serve us with the discoveries. They haven't done that so far. So it is premature for us to even contemplate doing such a thing. So we have not officially made any application to the Attorney General's office. No. And I made contact with my client in case he had. He tells me that he has not also taken that initiative. So the answer to that question is no. We haven't done that. We, as I'm saying, looking at him as the Minister of Justice, it is possible that he is informing us of the facility. So we will congratulate him and show.
So in other words, you are open to it.
Well, we show courtesy to him if it becomes necessary at any point in time. For that kind of agenda, we congratulate him. but we have not made any such application.
So you are open to a plea deal?
So it's a start of the process. And what I'm saying is I commend the Attorney General, being the Minister of Justice, for him to advise or for him to advertise that possibility. So for that, I commend him. But if the answer is whether or not we have done, the answer is no.
Okay, thank you very much. And that there is Andy Apiakubi. And let's bring you an update of what happened today at the NSMQ, because Kojo Girls Senior High School announced their brilliance on the national stage, shining and glittering their way past two-time finalists. And Francis Xavier Junior Seminary and Business SHS Tamale to book a 1/8 stage spot in the 2025 National Science and Maths Quiz. After making their debut appearance, the semi-final stage in 2018, the team says they are confident and resolved to progress further in this year's competition. And certain young, beautiful, strong, and sassy woman has just joined me in the studio. And I know her name. Your school is what again?
Wait, I can't get past being called young.
You know, I was contemplating at the end to say woman or girl.
Okay.
Then,
it's the young for me. Oh my God.
And then I'm like, don't get into more trouble because you're already in one already by saying young, and then you say woman, and I. So yeah, which school?
Wesley Girls.
Oh, okay, of course.
The Wesley Girls.
Yeah.
Of course, of course.
The almost.
Whatever. How are you guys doing? I haven't been following Aquinas.
No, we were doing well. We walloped our competitors, I believe, yesterday. So we're fine. We're doing good.
Oh,
yeah.
That's good.
And you, do you follow?
No, I've been very off the grid these past few weeks, so not really sure.
The nearly
what's going
school,
on.
no wonder.
But I'm not worried about Wesley Girls, you know. So
because you know you're not going to win it.
It doesn't actually.
You are happy to participate, no win.
If that's how you want to put it, that's perfectly fine. We are who we are. We are who we are, and we are who we say we are, and we don't care what you say, basically. So yeah. Moving on swiftly.
Yeah, tell me what's happening on the show.
So today we're talking about beauty in a bottle.
Oh, what's that? That's interesting.
It's a concept. You know, I was thinking that with the world as it is now, you can almost buy anything. You know, you can buy a younger looking face, you can buy a flatter tummy, you can buy.
You look younger.
A bigger.
You look trimmer.
Well, that's because I've lost weight.
I know, but
did I buy it?
No,
yes,
no.
I did. I actually did.
You bought it by doing hard work.
So we'll be talking about that tonight. We're talking, but tonight we're actually really talking about weight loss and buying.
Are you going to release and tell us your secret?
Oh, I mean, I don't think I've hidden it.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I
haven't.
You
did it on social media?
I anybody who asks me, I would say that I've been exercising.
But will you talk about it on radio?
I will. I mean, it's part of the conversation tonight. So we're talking about, the whole Ozempic, Mounjaro,
if you have Mounjaro, that's the one, right?
Wegovy.
I saw a documentary about it. I'm like, oh goodness, I need to get one.
Yeah. So we'll be talking about that. So basically, beauty in a bottle. Everything is for sale.
What I would like to encourage you, if you are listening to us right now, is just tune in on Facebook. Because you can see Animwa's new look. You love it, by the way. She's looking trim.
Thank you.
Strong and sassy.
And we're talking to Dr. Fatima Mohammed because I really wanted to have a medical. There's so many different opinions out there. So just really getting, a facts-based, medical-based opinion on all of these things. Helping, people to look good, feel good.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm encouraging you. Just make sure that you don't just listen to this.
Get
onto Facebook. Get onto Facebook.
I should do like a before and after.
Exactly. and just watch it live and tell me what you think about Animwa's new look after putting in the hard work. And she's going to be revealing the secret. I'm going to follow that template too.
Yes.
I'm going to be listening myself.